Hi there. Calendar is a primary tool for time management success. But if you look at yourself, whether you're using more effectively or not is the matter at the end. I'm going to give you 6 fundamentals to help you to get most out of your calendar. The first one is your time is your budget. When I say time is your budget, let's take as your bank account, you have XYZ number of dollars in your bank account. So what you do, you withdraw from ATM or you pay by check, but it will be within your budget. Similarly, you should think about the budget is 168 hours per week. What does that mean? Well, time isn't money, not always, but it does behave like money. It must be budgeted because when it's gone, it's just gone. When you schedule things into your calendar, think of it is the same way you would think about withdrawing money from your bank account or from your ATM. Everyone has a weekly limit of 168 hours. That's the maximum of your time budget, not the money budget. It's a time budget, right? So you have a bank account, within that maybe you have a 10,000 USD. That's your limit. That's the budget for your all monthly spending, and which includes your savings also. Similarly here, you have 168 hours. That's your limit. That's your budget. That's called time budget, I call it. And you should live within the time budget and you never over withdrawn. If you over withdraw, what would happen? Definitely you go into a time debt. When I say time debt, you would be ending up paying interest on the time. Interest on the time means switching cost. And switching cost means things take longer time and you make more mistakes and you will increase your stress levels. That would the end of the result, right? So use this calendar to keep track of your time withdrawals. Schedule almost everything. I would recommend anything which is taking more than 15 minutes, you must have to schedule within your calendar. And this will help you automatically track your time budget, not the money budget, it's a time budget. And it will help you to avoid overspending. That's all about the first fundamental. And now I'm going to jump into the second fundamental, which is avoid double booking yourself. Which I mean, what exactly it means? It means there's only one of you. That means you're just the one. So you don't try to schedule two things at once. That's called double booking. So if you try to schedule two things, like you want to go to airport and at the same time you want to go to maybe to office, so which is not possible. That's called double booking yourself. So there's only one of you. You're not the two. So just to book only one task, not the two, because the double booking is a bit like spending time on a credit card. Because I want to talk everything with respect to money within this lecture. So whatever you're spending is double booking, is spending like on a credit card. Lots of overspending, lots of switching cost. When you double book yourself, even if you think one of the appointment might fall through or might be canceling or might end up earning lesser time than what you expected, still you don't double book. The reason for the not to double book is it is again it leads to your tempting to the multitasking environment where you're gonna do more. Instead of the multitasking, you're gonna do actually switch tasks, which would result a lot of again mistakes, stress levels increase. All that would again reflected in your personal life. Now let's have a look on the third principle which I wanted to tell you here, as never commit to an appointment without putting into your calendar. Let's say best example is, hey, let's go to a maybe lunch this weekend. If you think that or if you're giving that kind of commitment to someone else, don't go for next week lunch without actually booking yourself in your calendar. What would happen is you're gonna since it's not there in your calendar, there's a possibility of you're missing that commitment. So when you miss that commitment, it means you're missing the train, you're missing that opportunity. And on top of it, it's going to put you a lot of pressure on your mind to keep track of your commitments, because your mind should be always with a plain slate. It should be always the clean thing, right? You just have to look at your data gathering points, that's all. The fourth uh, fundamental would be schedule buffer time between your commitments or between your meetings. Let's say you have a meeting at 2 o'clock, another meeting at 3 o'clock, another meeting at 4 o'clock. Do you think it's a busiest person's meeting? No. You have not prepared between 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 between meetings. What happens? You have not yet relaxed. You have a lot of pressure. You have a lot of commitments. So that would definitely lead to a stressful life. So you must have to have a gap between that. So it is a place for your deadlines and follow-ups through. So you need to have a proper gap between these tasks. If you take one more example, for example, you have a travel plan between one meeting to another meeting, you should calculate your traffic, your travel complete. So such things also, you definitely need to have the better buffer time for your travel. So that's the schedule for buffer in travel that would definitely makes you, as much as you have the buffer time, you get a chance to better prepare for the next meeting with a peace of mind. And the next one would be calendar as a commitment. When we say it's commitment to yourself, at the same time for others too. When you budget time in a calendar, stick to it. The calendar is not a place for maybe or perhaps situations. It is a place for deadline and follow through. Anything that has a deadline, anything is taking longer than 15 minutes, as I said earlier, that must have to go to calendar. And please plan that properly with a proper budget time. Complete those items and complete within a timely manner. And the last term would be, or last point would be, or last fundamental thing is, think long term. Don't think that I can complete the specific talks for a week and I'll just wait for that entire week to happen. If there is an opportunity to complete as soon as possible, you start completing on as soon as possible basis, so that you have nothing on your plate and you will be stress free. Begin cultivating the habit of scheduling deeper into the future, and you will experience less stress and less pressure to do everything today and for tomorrow also. The more you use these 6 different mindsets, that would definitely help you with your calendar. Combination of these 6 would give you more control. You will begin experience of your own time. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you.